I'm your girl Tracy, and today we are diving into something real, something raw, and something a lot of us struggle secretly with: the pressure to be perfect. Social media versus reality. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever scrolled through TikTok or Instagram and suddenly felt like your life wasn't good enough? Like your body isn't snatched enough? Your relationship isn't romantic enough? Your job isn't successful enough? Your home isn't aesthetic enough? Yeah, me too. It's like everywhere you look, someone is living their best life. Perfect vacation, perfect skin, perfect home, and perfect relationships. But deep down, you wonder, is it even real? Here's the truth. We are living in a world where filters are fooling us, and perfection is being sold like a product. But behind those glossy posts, there are people just like you and I, fighting silent battles, living hidden insecurities, and sometimes even living in pain. So today, we are pulling back the curtain. We are going to talk about why we feel this pressure to be perfect, how social media fuels it, and what it's really doing to our mental health and self-worth. And most importantly, how to break free and start loving our real, raw, and imperfectional self, or imperfect self. This isn't just a live session. This is a safe space, a space where we can be honest, vulnerable, and real with one another. So grab your tea, your water, or your favorite snack. Let's breathe, let's chat, and let's heal together. If you're ready for a real conversation, drop a reel in the live chat right now and let's get into it. Let's talk about something I like to call the illusion of perfection. Social media is full of it. It's like walking into a perfectly decorated showroom. Everything looks clean, beautiful, and well put together. But here is the truth. What you see online is only what people want you to see. Let me break it down. We all post our best moments, right? The perfect angle, the lighting, smiling faces, happy milestones, the clean corners of the room, while the rest look like a war zone. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating your wins. But the danger comes when we start believing that's all there is to life. That's all there is to it. Let's take this example, the perfect body. Instagram with the perfect body, tuned abs, glowing skin, tiny waist. You start thinking, I need to look like that. But you don't see the extreme diet, the body software, or the house editing behind the scenes. Some even use apps to digitally shape their bodies, and we are comparing ourselves to a fiction. How crazy is that? Another example, the perfect couples looking like step into a fairy tale, always smiling, traveling, giving each other gifts. You think, why can't my relationship be like that? but you don't see the argument, the therapy, or the lonely nights behind those posts. They might have posted a cute date night. They might have posted a cute date night picture after crying in the car for hours. Perfection is curated and reality is complex. Another example, the luxury lifestyle. When then there is that influencer who is always flying first class, unboxing designer items, sipping cocktails on a rooftop. But what you don't know is some of them are in debt, renting clothes, or borrowing items just for the content. Some even return the luxury items right after filming. You're measuring your real life against someone carefully produced fantasy. Let's get real for a second. Social media is not evil. It's fun, it's creative, and it connects us. But when it becomes a tool for comparison instead of inspiration, that's when the pressure starts. We start chasing a life that isn't real. We start hiding our flaws. We start faking our happiness, all to fit into a digital mold that is not even honest. Let's pause right there. I want to ask you, have you ever posted something that made your life look better than it really was in that moment? Be real with me. Drop a yes in the chat if you have done it before, even once. And if you're feeling bored, share what it was. Let's normalize truth. So the next time you scroll and feel like your life doesn't measure up, remember this. You are comparing your behind the scene to someone else's highlight reels. And just because it's not posted doesn't mean it's not happening. Real life has bumpers. It has outtakes. It has tears. It has bad lighting. And that's what makes it beautiful. Stay with me because in the next part, we are diving into the real impact this illusion has on our mental health and identity. You don't want to miss this. Now that we have talked about the illusion of perfection, let's dive into what it actually does to us, our mental health, our identity. Because here's the truth. This pressure to be perfect, it doesn't just stay on your screen. It creeps deep into your mind, your heart, your decisions, your confidence. And before you know it, you are not living yourself anymore. You are living for validation. What it does to ourselves, our mental health, and our identity. One, it destroys our self-worth. Comparison is the thief of joy. When we compare our reality to someone else's online highlight reel, we begin to feel less than. You start doubting your beauty, your talent, your intelligence. You look in the mirror and suddenly your skin isn't smooth enough. Your body isn't slim enough. Your life isn't aesthetic enough. And you forget how amazing you are, just as you are. Number two, it fuels anxiety and depression. Let's be honest. How many of us has felt anxious just scrolling through social media? You're watching everyone else win while you feel stuck. You see others getting married, buying homes, traveling, launching businesses, and you start thinking, what am I even doing with my life? But what you don't see is that everyone moved their own space. Everyone moved their own pace. And most of the times, those people have their own hidden struggles too. The pressure to perform and keep up is exhausting, trust me, very exhausting. It leads to sleepless nights. It leads to anxiety, sadness, and sometimes even depression. Especially when we tie our worth to like followers and online uploads. Number three, it creates a fear of being real. Perfection pressure, silence authenticity. You begin hiding parts of yourself to avoid judgment. You only post when you look your best, when you are good looking, when you look good. You avoid sharing your struggles because you don't want to look like weak or messy. And that's the saddest part. Because real connection comes from vulnerability. You lose out of genuine relationships because you're trying so hard to maintain a filtered identity. You start feeling isolated, even when you are surrounded by friends online. Number four, it fuels insecurity and fake confidence. Let's talk about confidence for a second. There is real confidence and there is Instagram confidence. Real confidence says, I am proud of who I am, flaws and all. Instagram confidence says, let me post this perfect picture and wait for validation to feel beautiful. See the difference? When we rely on likes, comments, and shares to feel worthy, it's not confidence, it's dependency. Number five, it affects our relationships and friendships. Perfection pressure can sneak into your friendship and love life too. You might find yourself trying to be perfect. You might find yourself trying to be a perfect partner instead of being an honest one. Or you might start resenting friends who seem to be doing better than you just based on what they post. That's how social media creates competition instead of community. Let's pause and talk. Have you ever felt like you weren't good enough just because of what you saw online? Have you ever felt anxiety or sadness after scrolling? Drop a me in the chat if that's you. Let's be real in this space. And if you're comfortable, tell us what triggered it. Was it body image, career comparison, relationship post? Which one was it? So many of us are carrying invisible pressure every day to look right, to talk white, to impress strangers on the internet we don't even know, who don't even know our real life story. But guess what? Your real story is worthy. Your real self is beautiful. And you don't need to wear perfection like a mask to be accepted. The more chance of the more we chase perfection, the more we run away from peace. But the moment we embrace who we really are, that's when we get free. Stay with me because next we'll be talking about the people behind the scene, the people behind the post. Yes, even influencers feel the pressure. You're about to see just how real the struggle is behind the filters. Trust me, there were a lot of struggles behind the filter. You can imagine what these influencers go through just to be perfect on the media, just to be perfect on the internet, just to be perfect on this space for validation. Let's talk behind the screens and some influencers' confessions. All right, so far we have talked about how the illusion of perfection affects us. But now let's flip the camera. Let's take a peek behind these scenes, behind the screens. Because even the people who seem to be living in the dream, people who seem to be living the dream, the influencers, the content creators, the celebrities, they feel the pressure as well. What you see versus what they live. Let's start with the obvious. Most influencers don't just wake up looking flawless, traveling to exotic islands, or sleeping late at five-star cafes all day. What you're seeing is often the end result of hours of planning, editing, staging, filtering, and sometimes faking. Let's take this example: rented luxury. A well-known Instagram model once confessed that she rented designer clothes and booked expensive hotel rooms, yeah, for just 1 hour, not to stay in it, but to take pictures. Can you imagine that? And when we see that, we start comparing our life to that. She wanted her followers to think she lived a luxury lifestyle. And you know what? The photos looked amazing. But the truth, she went back home to a small apartment with unpaid bills. Why? Because she felt like her real life wouldn't get as many likes, as many attention, as many attraction. That's the pressure we are talking about. Let's take another example. The fake perfect day. Another content creator on YouTube admitted that she would film a productive morning routine for her followers. But in reality, she had filmed it at 6 p.m. after laying in bed all day, feeling depressed. So while her audience were commenting things like, "Oh, you're so inspiring. I wish I had your discipline," she was actually struggling with burnout and mental exhaustion. They are not immune to the pressure. Many people don't realize. Even influencers feel the need to be perfect constantly. They're always thinking about engagement rates, following code, aesthetics, trends, some even delay grief, hide illnesses, or take fake happiness, all just to avoid falling off the algorithm. One influencer said, I couldn't even enjoy my vacation because I was so busy trying to capture it for the followers. I lived through my phone lens instead of the moment. Imagine that. You are in paradise, but not really present. Why this matters? So why we are talking about this? Why are we talking about this? Because when you compare your normal everyday life to what influencers post, you are comparing it to a brand, not a full human. They are building a person, a business, a digital identity. And what they show you is often tailored towards that to be marketable. It's curated. It's curated perfection. Yeah, not complete reality. And sometimes even they wish they could stop pretending. They really wish they could stop pretending. Let's bring this home. Have you ever followed someone who made you feel like your life wasn't enough? Be honest. Drop a yes in the chat. Now think about it. Have you ever realized later that their life wasn't as beautiful, as perfect as you thought? Let's normalize this awareness. Here's what I want you to remember. Just because someone looks like they have it all together online doesn't mean they actually do. Behind the filters and edit are people with flaws, fears, trauma, and challenges. So stop comparing your full story to someone else's highlight reel. And if they can feel the pressure, you are not weak or crazy for feeling it too. In the next part of this life, we are going to share how we can break this cycle and start showing up as real, authentic self. Get ready because this is the part that can change how you see yourself forever. This is embracing authenticity. Authenticity. Letting go of perfection. Now that we have uncovered the illusion of perfection, now that we have exposed the pressure and the pain it brings, let's talk about healing. Let's talk about freedom. Let's talk about embracing authenticity. Because if chasing imperfection is the person, if chasing perfection is in prison, then authenticity is the key. What is authenticity? What does authenticity really mean? Being authentic doesn't mean being perfect. It means being honest, being vulnerable, being you. It's showing up fully, even if your hair isn't done, your life isn't figured out, or your heart is still healing. It's saying, this is me, my flaws, my scars, my setbacks, my awkward laughs, my stretch marks, and all whatnot. Take it or leave it. And let me tell you something powerful. Authenticity is magnetic. When you're real, you attract real. When you stop pretending, you give others permission to do the same. Why authenticity matters more than ever. In a world full of curated content, realness is rare, and that's why it's valuable. We are craving genuine connection, not more perfect lives, but more truthful ones. Not more filter faces, but more soulful voices. Your story, not more filter faces, but more soulful voices. Your story, exactly as it is, might be the thing that saves someone else. Let's dive into my own journey. There was a time I felt like I had to present myself a certain way online. I thought if I wasn't always positive, glowing, and polished, people wouldn't take me seriously. But you know what I learned? The more honest I became, the more deeper connection I built with others. When I shared my struggles, people related. When I opened up about insecurity, others opened up too. When I was just me, messy, growing, learning, it became easier for me to breathe because pretending is exhausting. Trust me. But being yourself, that is peace. Let's talk about steps to start embracing authenticity today. Let's make it practical. How do you start being more real? How do you start being more you, especially in a world that rewards performance? One, I will say, practice self-comparison. Be kind to yourself. Perfection says, I'm not enough. Authenticity says, I'm human and I'm growing. Forgive yourself. Accept yourself. Speak gently to yourself. That's where it starts. Number two, share the real, not just the highlight. The next time you post something online, try this. Share something meaningful, something real, a lesson, a challenge, or truth. It doesn't have to be deep every time, but just don't be afraid to show what's really behind that smile. People connect with real far more than they connect with perfect. Number three, surround yourself with safe people. Find your tribe, the ones who don't judge you when you make up, the ones who don't makeup is off, or when your wall is upside down. You need people who see you real, who see you for who you are and stay. That's love and that's healing. Let's do something powerful in the chat. In one word, tell me what being authentic means to you. Drop it in the chat right now. I want to see how this space understands authenticity. Let's create a little wall cloud of realness right here. Let me leave you with this. You are not yet to be perfect. You are yet to be real. You are not yet to perform. You are yet to live, breathe, love, and grow. You don't need to edit yourself for approval. You don't need to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's idea of success. You are enough right now as you are. So let's be done with the pressure. Let's start showing up for ourselves and for others with truth and courage and with authenticity. If this speaks to your heart, I want you to comment real and free in the chat. Let it be your declaration. And if you are watching the replay, drop in the comments too. I will be reading through all of them. Thank you for being part of this honest and healing conversation with me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's keep building this empire of truth and love and light together. As we come to the end of this live session, I just want to take a moment. I just want you to take a moment of pause and really speak to your heart. We have covered a lot today. We talked about the illusion of perfection, how social media distorts our reality, and even how influencers, those we admire, struggle with the same pressure we do. We explored the emotional perfection, the anxiety, the sadness, the fear of not being enough. And most importantly, we talked about what it means to embrace authenticity and let go of the performance. But now, I want to leave you with something simple, something powerful, something real. If you ever looked at your life and felt like it didn't measure up, if you ever looked in the mirror and wish you were more this or less that, if you have ever deleted a post because it didn't get enough likes, I see you, I feel you, and I've been there too. But please know this, you are not alone. So many of us are silently battling the same insecurities behind the smiles, behind the filters, and behind the screens. And the moment we start being honest about it, we start healing. You are enough. You don't need to post a perfect photo to prove your worth. You don't need 1,000 likes to be valuable. You don't need flawless skin, a six-figure business, or a goals relationship to matter. You're already enough, right here, right now, just as you are. Let the truth sink in. Here's something we forgot. Growth doesn't have to be glamorous. It's okay to be a work in progress. It's okay not to have it all figured out. It's okay to move at your pace, Don't watch your healing. Don't compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. Your timeline is beautiful. Your journey is valid. Choose real over perfect. As you leave this live session, I want to challenge you. Start choosing real over perfect. Not just online, but in your everyday life. Choose conversation over captions. Choose honesty over image. Choose self-love over self-doubt. Because at the end of the day, the most beautiful version of you is the real you. If something I said today resonates with you, drop in the comment section. I choose real in the chat or in the comment. Let's light up the space with truth. Let's create authenticity that reaches beyond this moment. And just like that, we have come to the end of this powerful live session. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing up today, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. This wasn't just a talk, this was a community moment, a safe space to breathe, to reflect, and to be reminded that we are not alone in the world. We are not alone in the world that often demands too much and gives too little. If this conversation around the pressure of perfection, social media versus reality, meant something to you, if you found clarity, healing, or even just a little bit of hope, don't let this be the end. Let it be the beginning. Here's how you can stay plugged in. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the future lives, vlogs, and real talks like this. Turn on your notifications. Hit the bell icons so that YouTube will let you know whenever we go live. Like and share this video because someone you know who needs this message. Let's spread truth together. Also, if you are watching the replay or even if you are still here live, drop a comment below and tell me what part of today's session hit you the hardest. Are you walking away with today? I read every comment. I reply to as many as I can. Your voice matters here. And if you want more daily inspiration, real life moments, and behind the scene content, make sure you're following me on Instagram, Bitomo Tracy, on TikTok, The Williams Family, and on Facebook, Bitomo Tracy. Let's grow, heal, and keep it real across this platform. Before you go, remember you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to be polished to be valuable. Just be real. That's more than enough. Thank you for being part of the Williams Empire family. This is Tracy. I'm signing off with love, light, and a reminder: stay kind, stay growing, stay real, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.